Thanks for being with us here on Business Now. Australia, through distance and necessity, has historically been recognised as a highly innovative nation, but those days seem long ago. The Productivity Commission today, as part of its 5-year productivity inquiry, released a report that highlights our lack of innovation. It says less than 2% of companies actually produce new-to-the-world innovation. So whose job is it to fix this? The government? Business? Who is it? The Productivity Commission's Deputy Chair, Dr. Alex Robson, joins me now from our Brisbane studio. Alex, many thanks for your time. This issue, this lack of innovation, long term, that means Australia is not producing the wealth, it's not producing the future taxes that the country would want to see.
Yeah, well, good to be with you, Ross. Yeah, so today in this report, we're focusing on innovation and in particular the adoption and adaptation of existing ideas. And that's what the 98% you mentioned in your introduction, the 98% of Australian businesses actually do. They're not coming up with new ideas themselves. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but we're looking at innovation through this lens of what we call diffusion of new ideas.
Okay, so one aspect here is the Productivity Commission has often said if you can't make cars in Australia, if it's cheaper to make them overseas, then make them overseas and bring them here. Is that not the same for ideas? If it's cheaper to actually bring somebody else's idea than to innovate yourself, isn't that a smarter, more productive way to run your business?
It can be, Ross, and that's what we're highlighting in this report, and there's ways in which that happens that we identify. So foreign investment, skilled migration, all of those things, in addition to generating adaptation and adoption of new ideas domestically, those things can help us actually improve our productivity growth rather than just focusing on coming up with a brand new invention that nobody's ever seen before. Most businesses in Australia actually look around and adopt ideas that are off the shelf, whether they're from a domestic inventor or from someone who's invented it overseas.
But one aspect that you do identify is government. And effectively you say that government is potentially guilty of not innovating quickly enough itself. That in itself means that productivity improvements are really held back if you don't have a really good system of government actually creating ideas and coming up with new ways.
Yeah, well, we highlight that in the report, Ross, because governments collectively in Australia spend $900 billion and around half of that is on service delivery. So even if governments were to adopt new ideas and spread them around more quickly, that would come up, that would deliver us big productivity gains given that large spend. Now, in a lot of cases, governments are adopting new ideas, but there are certainly barriers to that we identify in the report, both across state and federal governments.
But part of this is your 5-year productivity inquiry. You're seeking submissions now. So you really want business. You want interested parties to come forward to give you ideas as to how businesses might be able to innovate more readily, adopt it. Because again, this is trying to press the productivity button to improve Australia's, sort of, if you like, wealth and give us our better bang for our buck.
That's right, Ross. So we're keen to hear from businesses, stakeholders, the wider community about this idea of diffusing new ideas across the economy and how that can be sped up in a way that it boosts our productivity. So there are worrying signs that adoption engine or the diffusion engine is slowing down. So we've seen slowdown in investment. We don't see as many people changing jobs. We see it in entry and exits across industries. And so that's what we're really concerned about, and focusing on this 98% of businesses. There's over 1 million businesses, Ross, that could benefit from adopting ideas that are already out there.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's good to have you on the program today, Dr. Alex Robson, and the email address, or rather the web address, is pc.org.au.gov.au, pc.gov.au, if you're interested there. Alex, many thanks for your time.
Thanks, Ross. Good to be with you.